Welcome back, this is CerealSnax, and today I'm looking at Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, although this is not the standard Morrowind. This is actually the Morrowind version 3.0 sound and graphics overhaul. Pretty impressive stuff. It was released on October 2nd, and it is pretty impressive. I've got some save games here to show off the graphics. Now, this isn't a tutorial video on how to install this particular mod. There's actually another channel out there that has some great tutorials on if you have issues or problems installing this mod. I'm just here to kind of show it off and show you how cool it looks. That's kind of my job, more or less, and that's because of what I like to do. So, as you know, if you've played Morrowind, you start out in this city called Seyda-Ni, and I'm overlooking it right now, and it is pretty darn impressive. It's this has been totally redone. Of course, a lot of times you'll look at a game like this, you know, 10 or 10 plus years after it came out, and you'll say, well, it doesn't look that much different to me. And sometimes I think that, and that's really just rose-colored glasses. The reality is they've done a ton. If you load up the original Morrowind with no mods at all, this looks completely different and much more dated. It's funny because when I played the original Morrowind, I felt like there was no way the graphics could get any better than they were. Now, of course, that's not true, and I always seem to be wrong about that. Heck, I played King's Quest III for the first time when I first got it in 1987, and I felt like that was the best graphics that could ever possibly be in a game. So, you know, that's how I guess your imagination changes things. But here's some of the cool things about it. Of course, you can see the water, you can hear the sounds. It's very realistic. They've done a great job. In fact, in many ways, it rivals Skyrim in terms of its immersiveness, in my opinion. The other thing that's neat is, of course, just real basic, simple things. Like if I look at this post, your vision focuses on that post, and you can see the detail in it, and then everything around you sort of blurs out. I always liked Seyda-Ni, and I always felt like it was one of the better locations for visuals, but I'll show you some of the other ones. And of course, you know, the voices are the original from the Morrowind game, but was there something in here? Ah, there was. Hollow tree stump. Of course, it's empty. There's a tree stump with a ring in it somewhere. Not too worried about that. I'm not doing a let's play on it right now. Just kind of showing it off. I'm not going to go in the water. Remember, there's like these crazy piranha fish that are in the water, and I do not want to deal with them too much. Let's run up to the Silt Strider, and let's see if we can hitch a ride to Balmora. I want to show Balmora off, because there's been some significant changes to that area. And as you can tell, it's running pretty well. I'm getting close to 30 frames per second, which is good enough for a game like that. It's not a first-person shooter, so I'm not too worried about the frames per second. It's not like it's lagging, and really 30 frames per second is about as good as you can expect with all the changes that they've done. Now, I will say that let's ride the Silt Strider, and I'll keep talking. But what I will say is, let's go to Balmora, that the graphics options that you can choose for this game are varied. So you don't have to stick with the highest level of options. I actually did pick the highest that you could possibly go, but you don't have to do that. There's so many different options for so many different types of PCs that you shouldn't feel like you're stuck with a certain kind of spec, I guess you could say. I'm not as impressed with the character models. I mean, they obviously haven't changed the basic model. They've changed the skins on the model. They did the best they could, but it's tough. The armors and stuff look really pretty good, but the character skins are a little bit goofy still. But that's just the way it is for Morrowind, and to each his own. Now, let's see. It's raining here. Let's see if I can get it to be... It's 3 in the day. Let's do a 24-hour wait. Let's see if we can get... I can show you daytime in Balmora, because it's pretty cool. Oh, still raining. A day later, it's still raining in Balmora. Let's keep waiting. Still raining. What you can see is that there are trees added to Balmora. In the original game, there were no trees. Oh, this is good. Okay, there we go. Get some of the sky, some of the light shining in. Pretty impressive. Other than that, not much has changed. I like the shadows that they've done. Very impressive. And this used to almost seem like a deserty kind of town, but they've added a bunch of stuff to it. Waterways, you know, going through here. That was here before, of course. So as you can see, I mean, I don't really even need to say too much. This looks pretty impressive. Pretty impressive stuff. So I'm going to show you a few more of the cities to give you an idea of what this mod is all about. Like I said, it's a sound and graphics overhaul. So they've not only added incredible graphics, incredible high-resolution textures, but they've also added tons of atmospheric sounds that you're probably listening to right now. I'm going to try to crank them up as much as I can without drowning up my voice, so you get an idea of what that's all about. Maybe even in my next city, I'll not talk for a few seconds and let you listen. Okay, so this is right outside of Vivek in the evening. And you can see the stars are actually starting to appear over here. And the light coming through the trees is pretty cool. Let's run over towards the Silt Strider again here, and I'll show you. You can see the constellations in the sky. Impressive stuff.
Make a special trip just for you.
Yeah,
Say a low price.
Do this special trip just for me. But look at the light shining through. It's just so cool. And they've really made it. Now there's multiple tree options you can pick. I picked the one that was the vanilla option. And of course you can pick, you know, any type of option that you want. And there's some that are even more lush than this. This guy's fighting me here. Luckily I've got this lightning sword that I looted. Take this guy out here if I can. Of course he's about to... Oh, I got him. Cool. Alright. Kwama warrior. He had a large Kwama leg. Let's see, let's just dispose of the corpse. I like that you can do that in this game. It's getting to be nighttime now. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm going to show you some more cities. Okay, so we're in Nisus. I always liked Nisus because it borders a river, but it's also kind of got this dark elf building type feel to it, which I always liked. Here's the river down here. And you can actually hear the Silt Strider in the background. Let me go down to the water, and I'm going to just not talk for a second, let you listen to the sounds. Actually don't know if that's the best place for it, but there's some areas where you can hear the crickets going. Look at the light coming through. Whoa. Pretty impressive. Okay, let's run over here. I want to show you, I think I can get up in this hill over here and show you down into the valley on the other side. I won't go up there. Let's go over here. Essentially, I think what you've probably gathered just from watching this is that the mod overhaul is pretty incredible. I wouldn't say that it's much different than the previous versions, because the previous versions were just as amazing. However, what version 3.0 has done is streamline the installation process. It took me about 10 minutes, I'd say, total to install this mod, and that may be because I was just lucky, but the previous versions took hours to get installed, so I never really did a video on those. I always had so much trouble, and they were always kind of buggy and seemed to crash my game. This one seems to be a lot stronger. Look at that valley down in there, the trees. They've really done a great job with the tree detail. They just look like real trees. It's just incredible. Like, I had a feeling that I wanted to go back into Skyrim and really get into it, because I bought the game and I played a little bit of it, but I never really spent a lot of time with it because there were so many other games out. But now I feel like I just need to go through Morrowind again. I mean, this game is so incredible. So let's show you, I think, one or two more cities, and then we'll call it a day. And I'll be right back. I'm actually just going to show you this one last city. This is Saran. But I think what's really impressive about this is the nighttime. Look at the sky. Constellations and Silt Strider in the background making its noise, which is so familiar to many of us. Look at that. That's just incredible. And the lighting in the cities at night is incredible. I really like Saran because it's more of a rural kind of city. So actually I'm going to set it to be daytime here in a second after we kind of overlook it. Just look at the lighting, the pink light there and the yellow lights. Just really well done. So let me, oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to, oh, there's enemies nearby? Interesting. Okay, let's go down in the city here real quick. And you can tell how smooth the game runs, even though I've done all kinds of adjustments.
Quickly, Outlander. I haven't much time.
Yeah, me either, guy. If you stand here by the water for a second, maybe you can hear some of the cricket sounds. Yep, pretty impressive. So, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to wait till daytime. Let's see here. Let's just do it like 6 hours. That'll be 9 in the morning. You get a good idea of what it looks like. Look at this. Oof. it feels like a game that has just been released. It feels like it rivals games that just come out, and this game is, over 10 years old. So, pretty impressive. They've done some great work. I'm going to put as many links as I can to the people involved, the website that I got it from. There's a torrent link out there. It's all going to be on this site that I link, so just check it out. It's worth it. It's definitely, if you own the game already, it's worth it. If you don't already own Morrowind and never played Morrowind, it's one of the better games made in the last decade, so it's totally worth picking up for the $10 or whatever it now costs on Steam. So be sure to check it out. I hope you enjoyed my look at the Morrowind 3.0 Overhaul sound and graphics. I'm going to have a lot of fun exploring it and just trying to figure it out. So hope you do too. So if you liked, please like and subscribe. And thanks for joining me.